Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Financial Therapy Network launch. I've looked forward to this day for a very long time, and I'm so glad that you're all here to share it with me. So let's get started and find out about the Financial Therapy Network. Before we do, though, we have a special treat for everyone. If you are on Twitter and you have your cell phone handy, you can tweet about what you're learning about the Financial Therapy Network today and use the hashtag FTN launch for Financial Therapy Network launch. And we are at FTN Wellness on Twitter. You will have to like us or follow us on Twitter so that we would be able to direct message you if you are the winner of a free financial social work certification. So at Financial FTN,
Sorry, Rita.
Go ahead, Dorley.
Excuse me, Rita. Someone is saying that they can't hear you. So
That's not good. You can hear me, right, Dorley?
I can hear you, yeah. Someone by the name of Susan Harless is saying she can't hear you. I'm not sure. Norma is saying she can hear you. So I'm not sure if Susan has something on her technology end or what's happening. I just thought I should share that with you.
Thank you. If anyone else is having a problem, please let us know. I can only I know that I can only judge by my ability to speak with Dorlee, and I certainly want everyone to hear this. I hope that...
Someone's jumping in that they can hear you perfectly fine.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry that the one person can't. I hope that will improve for you. Okay, so Twitter.
Someone else jumped in for you to please check your speakers, the volume. So I guess maybe just try to speak a little bit more directly towards your speaker.
Okay, I'm holding the microphone closer to my mouth. So I like to let everyone know what our agenda is, and for today we're going to begin by exploring why did we create the Financial Therapy Network. Then we'll take a somewhat brief look at financial social work, financial wellness, and financial therapy, because those are the components of the Financial Therapy Network. Then we'll talk about online financial therapy support groups for women, which is something very exciting and unique. We'll also look at our new consumer self-help program, My Money Myself. Then we have a special offer for everyone, and then we will be happy to do Q&A. So let's go. Let's start with a poll. I like our sessions to be as interactive as possible. So here are our polls. It wasn't that easy to come up with polls for today, but I did manage to, if I can open them. Okay, so our first poll. Where did you learn about today's Financial Therapy Network launch? So that poll is open, and we have over 50% of you have voted. Interesting. Okay. Well, I can see pretty clearly that most of you are a part of our community. So 83% of you have voted. I will go ahead and close this poll and share it with you, and you will see that a large majority of you were invited by us to this launch. We're glad you're here. Okay, let's hide that poll and keep going. So April is Financial Literacy Month, and every year we try to do something special for Financial Literacy Month. This is, for me, about as special as it gets, the launching of our Financial Therapy Network. So the question, Why the Financial Therapy Network? Well, I could spend a very long time answering that question, but I'll let these slides do some of the talking for me. So there's a variety of information on this slide, but the most important one, I think, is that 28% of people say they have no one to talk to about money. The question was, who do you most often consult for financial advice? And that's a really big problem on many levels. Then this particular statistic on this infographic, 65% of Americans say keeping financially fit, saving regularly, and paying down debt is as difficult or more difficult than keeping physically fit. So that's nearly 2 in 3 people. And I have many, many, many stats that, reinforce the fact that people are struggling financially, even though the economy, the statistics of the economy are improving. Here, 52% of Americans are spending more than they earn. That's a really, that's a big concern. And 21% regularly have monthly expenses in excess of their income. So certainly there is no shortage of information available, but that information isn't being accessed and it isn't being actualized to create a better financial future for so many Americans. And this statistic always takes my breath away, the fact that the average American spends $1.33 for every dollar earned. Of course, that's going to result in debt. And while I didn't highlight this one, 1 in 4 Americans has more debt than savings. Well, I guess I did highlight it. I decided that that needed to be pointed out also. So let's do another poll. Which of the following do you consider most serious? Let's see. Well, that would not be the right poll. But since it's up, let's go ahead and go with that one. I'll point out to you later where I meant to put that poll. Okay. So this is, people are feeling pretty strongly about this topic, about the choices that we've offered you. So 76% of you have voted. Anybody else want to vote? I'll go ahead and count that down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got up to 80% of you. I will close it and I will share it. And so you'll see later on in my slides that I ask you which of this list of issues and problems could be the result of financial problems. And I have a suspicion that most of you would have, aligned with the same statistics that you have here, because it is true that depression, hopelessness, self-neglect, anxiety, stress, and panic attacks, those are all results of financial problems. Okay, let's see if I can find, all right, we'll just keep going then. Okay, so what I wanted to ask you in that previous poll was which of these here, student debt, big data, and big data is how people take all of our personal information and use it to make money off of us, economic abuse, which of these, and identity theft, the part-time economy. Let me see if here, let's see which of these, or you can type into the question box if you think that one of these topics is more important than another and concerns you more than the others do. You can go ahead and type that into other, and Dorlee can share that with us. Right now, almost 50% of you have voted, and you're fairly evenly split among the various topics. A few percent of you think something else. So if you want to type that in, Dorlee can share that with us. So 70% of you have voted. I'll go ahead and count that down and share the results with you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. And my point here, let me close that.
Oh, and just so you know, so one person added under or unemployment.
Yes. I think that might have been, hold on, was that, I thought that was identity theft, under-earning, right. That is, and a part-time economy. Those are very big problems. So let me share those results with you. Identity theft and child identity theft, these are huge, huge problems today. Credit card debt is growing again. Economic abuse is critical part of domestic violence, and student debt is changing the entire culture. These are problems. So I put all of this under why the Financial Therapy Network, because yes, you know, we looked, let me hide this, we looked at spending, and that is a big problem. We saw that more Americans spend about $1.33 for every dollar they earn. So they're building debt and not paying down debt. But all of these, the part-time economy is an important piece of the under-earning. The financial, sorry, I've been really sick, but I didn't want to postpone this. Financial profiling is the fact that all of us are profiled by our credit scores. And so many people don't know what a credit score is, let alone what theirs is. So there are a lot of financial problems that exist in today's economy. And yes, you can Google it and you can look it up, but having a place where you can go and you're going to see all of the ways that you can interact with me and Dorlee and everyone else here to be a part of a community of learning about money management and personal and financial growth. So why the Financial Therapy Network? Well,
no, sorry, just one more second. There are two more suggestions, concerns that people had. Divorce / single parenting and being underpaid.
Absolutely. We did have divorce on there, and I did have single parent. And those are situations where people need help, where they need guidance, where you need to be able to share what's going on and to learn how to manage and cope and create a better financial future. So thank you for that. So why Financial Therapy Network? Because businesses prosper when people buy the wrong products, pay too high an interest rate, fall for the lure of high interest credit card debt, when they impulse buy, or when they're suffering or struggling financially due to the lack of financial knowledge and skills. So we wanted to create a place where people could address these various topics and issues and problems, a safe place, an accepting place, and that's why we've worked so hard and so long to create the Financial Therapy Network. and something to be aware of, and that's that what's good for the economy is not good for the consumer. For the economy to prosper, people need to spend money. But for people to prosper, to not build debt, to be in a better position to build assets, to reduce debt, people need not to spend. And when you're spending via credit cards and building debt, these all contribute to a lot of financial problems. And we created it because we believe so much in community. So when I asked the poll question at the beginning, where did most of you learn about today's launch? I believe it was 85% of you said that you were invited by email. And that means you have been a part of the financial social work community for at least a little while. And we've been around for almost 20 years, and we wanted an even broader way, not only to interact with all of you, but to bring our philosophy and our proven techniques directly to consumers. And that's why the Financial Therapy Network. Well, there it is, to bring the behavioral financial social work model directly to the consumer. So if you've been part of our community, you're familiar with financial social work, you know about our certification, you know we have certified thousands of graduates around the country and around the world, and our graduates work with consumers, many of them low wealth clients that they work with. But we knew that not everyone has access to certified financial social workers or social work educator coaches. And we wanted a way to be able to deliver our message to consumers, possibly to you if you didn't need to take the certification, or if you have a partner, a spouse, a child, a relative, a colleague who could use this information. So we did it because people need help understanding why they are where they are financially and identifying where they want to be in the future. If we aren't thinking about that and planning ahead, then we're not going to turn things around. People need help connecting to their money. We're so disconnected from our money. We don't see it. We don't touch it. It makes it easier to avoid it and to deny what's going on with it. So all of these are reasons why we've created the Financial Therapy Network, which we're going to get to and explain to you in greater detail in just a few minutes. People need help healing their relationship with money. I know most people don't think about having a relationship with money, but we all have a relationship with money, and it needs to be healthier if we want to be financially healthy. People need help coping with the stress of financial problems. We know that financial problems are very, very stressful, and disconnecting from our money is not really a way of addressing those problems. People need help eliminating the actions and habits that sabotage financial well-being. And of course, you need the core money management skills and tools to be able to create a better financial future. People need help setting and achieving financial goals and addressing the emotional issues which drive their financial behavior. So it's about so much more than dollars and cents. Our financial circumstances, are the result of our behavior. You'll see that example in just a minute. People need help in the form of ongoing financial education, motivation, validation, and support. it needs to be ongoing. If we're going to create sustainable financial behavioral change, and that is the financial social work model, and I've been talking about that for many years and on many, many of these webinars. But now we have new expanded ways of delivering that important and valuable information. And if you see here, the more I value myself, the better my relationship with money becomes. And that's key. That's very much key to a better financial future. It's actually the foundation of financial wellness. And we all need help making friends with our money. Now, you may not have considered that you needed to make friends with your money, but too often we view money as the enemy. We blame our financial problems on money, but the reality is money is just a form of exchange. It's not doing anything to hurt us. And yes, whomever it was that pointed out, low pay jobs, part-time economy. There are a lot of reasons that people struggle financially, even in this so-called improved economy. But it is really important to make friends with your money, to understand what money can and can't do, and the role you play in your relationship with your money, and the role that your relationship with your money and contributes to your financial behavior, and how your financial behavior, how you earn, spend, save, and share, that's what determines your financial circumstances. So just briefly about financial social work, we have been around since 1997. And they just completed a 3-year extensive research study by United Way in Erie, Pennsylvania, which confirmed financial social work's efficacy and suggests that organizations can benefit by training their staff members in this psychosocial orientation to financial literacy and integrating this approach into their work. And our curriculum was taught as an elective at the University of Kentucky from 2011 to 2014, and financial social work is included in the online Encyclopedia of Social Work. So what makes financial social work so special? It is a behavioral model. It's behavior. It's all about behavior, again, how we earn, spend, save, and share. And it is an ongoing model of education, motivation, validation, and support. So that philosophy is the foundation to the financial therapy network. The model is experiential, it's interactive, strength-based, and heavily psychosocial. We look at the thoughts, feelings, and attitudes that drive behavior. So as I've said already today, it's your relationship with your money that drives your financial behavior, and it's your financial behavior that determines your financial circumstances. Sounds simple. Took me a long time to get it down to just this little slide, but this is how it happens. And this is where it needs to happen, financial behavioral change. And the model itself incorporates transformational learning and trans-theoretical model of behavioral change, which basically means that learners experience personal and intellectual growth. And so all of our work in financial social work and with the Financial Therapy Network, it's all about personal and financial growth, because you can't really have one without the other. And so the model brings wonderful things to people's lives. So the actual Financial Therapy Network looks something like this, because we have a way to help you to create financial wellness. And there are several components, and the first one right here we'll talk a little bit more about in a minute. It's our self-help program. It's called My Money, Myself, and it gives you all the information. It's 5 online workbooks where you go through the process of learning how to take control of your money and gain control of your life. Then we will also talk in greater detail about the online support groups for women and look at what's coming down the road with one-on-one financial therapy and coaching. So all of these are come together to engage our members in creating new money habits and developing financial well-being and better overall health. So one really wonderful thing on the Financial Therapy Network is our new blog, and we have lots of wonderful topics that are motivational and filled with information specifically to help everyone who reads it to create financial wellness. Then we have member discussion forums. Now that's a place where you can post messages to other members and to me, Dorlee, and our staff. You can do that directly. And you can go ahead and create that first discussion by going to the financialtherapynetwork.com/forums, and we will be posting our own questions and discussing with you a variety of topics right there. And so it's a really valuable place to exchange ideas and get questions answered. The My Money, Myself program should be available on June 1st, and that will be in English and in Spanish. And that online program will help create long-lasting positive money habits and help people improve their financial situation and well-being. It will cover saving, investing, insurance, all of the money management tools and skills and information to help you reduce, eliminate, and cope with debt, and identify spending triggers, and so much more. So you'll be hearing more about that as time goes by. So My Money, Myself, if you stop and think about how much of your life does revolve around your money, you'll understand why we've developed this financial self-help program. So now let's look a little at financial wellness. Over the past year or so, while creating the Financial Therapy Network, I've moved very much in the direction of financial wellness. I think it is a healthier, more holistic, and broader approach, not only to financial education, but to financial capability and to financial well-being. Let's think about being healthy and being well when it comes to our money. Let's not look at it as a negative or a deficit model. So financial wellness. Well-being has traditionally focused on improving physical, emotional, and mental quality of life. Little understanding of how dependent quality of life is on financial well-being. And it's not easy to find graphics that include financial and material well-being. So this QOL, quality of life graphic, was one I was happy to see, because quality of life does encompass many different things, and certainly financial and material well-being is one of them. Well, this was the poll that kind of popped up even though it wasn't supposed to. We won't go into it now, but we will look at the fact that financial problems absolutely contribute to a wide range of physical, emotional, and psychological problems. And here you see a list of a few, and here are some more. And so you all seem to indicate that you recognized this as being true in that earlier poll. Okay, now here's a poll that we didn't do yet. Let's see what you think about this one. I like to make it interactive. That's why I do the polls. So let's see. What percentage of people say they are stressed about money at least some of the time? Okay. We're pretty spread out on this. 65% of you have voted. Okay. No. Now we have a definite leader, and it is the correct answer while you're at it. Okay. So 75% of you have voted, so I'll go ahead and close that poll and share the results with you. So the majority of you wisely chose 70 to 80%. And I will close that and show you where that statistic came from. So the APA released its annual stress survey in January of this year, Stress in America, Paying with Our Health. And of course, there were many, many, many different topics covered around stress, but the top sources of stress are clearly things related to money, work, and the economy. And the survey did find that 72% of Americans say they feel stressed about money at least some of the time. And 64% of all Americans say finances are a source of stress. 77% of parents and 75% of young adults say money is a significant stress factor. And parents with children under 18 are more likely to point to finances as a major source of stress. And so we did look at those various stressors, the ways that money is so stressful for so many people. So financial wellness, as we wind down on this component, this is what it looks like financially. Being able to optimize credit and have the proper protection, have an emergency fund, be able to build assets and access resources. So that's it from a financial perspective. But this is it. This, to me, I really like this graphic about getting all your ducks in a row. I think that financial wellness, what it looks like behaviorally, is being able to reduce debt and have the opportunity to build assets and to improve your relationship with money, which I've been talking about throughout today's training. Make friends with your money. I've talked to you about that. We have to change our financial behavior. If we keep doing the same thing, we're going to stay right where we are. So we've looked at financial wellness behaviorally and from a financial perspective. So now let's go ahead and move on. We talked about our online self-help program. I told you about our blogs and about our interactive boards. This is the most special and exciting part of the Financial Therapy Network for me, and that's what we're actually launching today, and that's online financial support groups for women. And this kind of summarizes what it's all about. It's about the fact that one woman empowered empowers other women. And this is our goal through these support groups. And so each session will begin with a motivational and inspirational component with members having the ability to participate. We're using an amazing, amazing platform where we can do amazing, amazing things, and we're so excited about it. There will be an interactive educational portion each week, but this is not about the basics of money management. We're not going to be looking at how to make a budget. We're going to be looking at some very unusual topics, at gender pay, at raising more money-wise kids, at coping with financial stress, the myth of happily ever after, how we get into financial problems when we're bored, looking at spending triggers, emotional spending. And this is going to be a kind of open forum where members have a very active role to play in where the group goes and what the group does. Look, know your money truths, why women shortchange themselves, what is financial infidelity. We're going to be looking at the kinds of topics that need talked about among women. And just to see some of the initial ones we have scheduled, does financial well-being really matter? Financial wants versus financial needs. What is a credit report and why does it matter? Rethinking your money truths. What makes money so stressful? How about meet your inner financial self? Or spell mistakes, Lessons. You'll be able to learn all of the important money management skills and tools, along with a lot of personal awareness and growth through our self-help program. And that's a more hands-on specifics of money management. But in the group, we'll be covering some of the topics and issues and giving women the opportunity to find a voice and grow personally and financially. So with this platform, members will be able to divide into smaller groups to talk privately and directly with each other about their thoughts and views on a new and different subject. We'll be covering lots of materials every session. Members will have the opportunity to share their feelings, ideas, and concerns anonymously on the screen in real time, addressing what's on their mind. And that's important, and it's certainly a major reason for creating the support groups and the Financial Therapy Network, is so that people don't have to feel so alone, because financial problems can be very isolating. And we will conclude with a consider this segment of positive, empowering thoughts and ideas, and we'll offer a new discussion topic or question for members to respond to on the message boards. Now, you become a member of the Financial Therapy Network by taking a group or by purchasing the self-help program, My Money Myself. But you can join the forums by going to the website with a /forum, and everyone is able to be a part of the forums. And all women can receive one free session of the support groups. So join us if you would like to spend 1 hour a week in a safe, non-judgmental place of personal and financial growth, share time with other women in similar circumstances, improve your own financial circumstances, expand your sense of self, self-confidence, and self-esteem, and take control of your money and gain control of your life. And certainly if you want to create financial well-being, because we very much believe that life is better in community. So, last poll is what were your thoughts about financial therapy before learning of the Financial Therapy Network? Okay. This is pretty much what I had expected. I guess it would have been, I see some people have other if you'd like to type in an answer, Dorley can share it. So we have 75% have voted. So I'll go ahead and close this poll and thank all of you for your participation in the polls today. It's really fun to be able to get feedback from you. The support group platform can do this in a totally new and different way that's really exciting. But with webinars, this is the best we can do today. So 54% of you thought that it sounded interesting, and about a third of you had never heard of it. We have 3% at other. So I just thought it would be interesting to know if you had heard of it. And clearly some of you had. So we're going to hide that final poll and talk a little bit about.
I actually would love to, can you like create a on the spot poll about how interesting it sounds to them now as opposed to what they thought beforehand?
Well,
based upon your wonderful description, I'm just curious, does it sound like something that would meet their needs or the needs of their clients? You know, on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being meet their needs completely and 1 not at all meeting their needs. How likely is Financial Therapy Network to be something that the support groups for women to be something that's going to meet either their needs or their clients' needs?
Well, I only wish it were possible to create a poll. I spent a good deal of time in the hour before we went live trying to come up with some polls. This wasn't an easy one to come up with polls. But I think you raised a great question, Dorley, and everyone can go ahead and type in that question box your thoughts on the Financial Therapy Network. And I had actually asked about financial therapy specifically because I just wanted to point out to people and having talked about this in the past to different groups, I wanted to see if people were specifically interested in financial or knew about financial therapy itself. Your question about the Financial Therapy Network, I'd love to hear what people have to say. But
somebody now is like, there's like a little hand raised, so what do we do with that?
I think that means that the person put something in the question box.
Oh.
I'm not positive. Do you see anything, Dorley?
Yes, I'm seeing some responses. Thank you.
All right, let's just go through this because we're just about done. And then we'll have time for you to share those responses and see if there are any questions. So here I ask, where does financial wellness come from? I just love the concept of financial wellness, as probably everybody on the call knows now. And I think that it does come from financial therapy. And I just wanted to share with people that financial therapy is an exciting, relatively new field that's very cutting edge. I believe it is as yet undefined, but I will share in a moment who's looking at it and what's happening with it. And I think that it's expanding and will continue to expand because physical, emotional, and mental health depend on improved financial well-being. And I think financial therapy, however you interpret it, is going to be a crucial part of that. So I thought I would share with people that Kansas State University now has a financial therapy graduate certificate program. I do believe the University of Georgia is working on some type of financial therapy program. And there is a Financial Therapy Association. I spoke at their national conference last fall. So financial therapy is growing. To me, it represents change and hope and help and reducing stress and believing in yourself, growing awareness, developing personal and financial boundaries around relationships and money, being your own hero, and being at peace with your money. So that's what financial therapy, means to me. And what I think it does is that it motivates men and women to choose to address and heal their relationship with their money. It provides the financial information and insight needed to make more knowledge-based choices and decisions around money. It supports behavioral change and success, personally and financially. It helps clients learn how to anticipate, prepare for, and cope with both personal and financial setbacks and disappointments. It incorporates our model of validation, encouragement, and self-assessment in a process that nurtures sense of self, self-worth, and self-confidence. It expands self-awareness and personal growth through a positive strength-based model. It reduces self-sabotaging financial thinking, behaviors, and habits. And it engages people in the process of improving their financial circumstances. These are all very important, and they combine to just make life better on every level. So winding down, the Financial Therapy Network includes financial social work, financial therapy, financial wellness, and financial self-help. We have the online financial support groups for women, the self-help program, My Money, Myself. We have the blog and the forums available to everyone. We will be having a network of financial therapists and counselors that people will be able to read about and interview. We will be introducing an affiliate program so that our community can benefit by introducing all of this information to other people. And eventually, down the road, we will be offering other professionals the ability to run their own support groups, as well as to help us run our support groups. So that's the Financial Therapy Network. And it is all based on the Financial Social Work Certification, which is 5 workbooks. And if any of you have been tweeting and you have followed us on Twitter, then we will choose a winner of a free certification. The certification cost is $495, but we are offering to those of you who attended today a $150 savings so that you can become part of the network. The certification is self-study and self-paced. Our students have 6 months to complete it, and the online final exam allows for 2 weeks to complete that. And it does include 20 CEUs from National NASW. And those who take advantage of today's offer, which will be good until the end of next week, so you might want to jot down that special pricing code. Once we get our Financial Therapy Network listings up, you would receive 1 year free on that listing. And so if you want to be a part of our social media, on Facebook, we're FTN Wellness. On Twitter, we're FTN Wellness. And on LinkedIn, it's the financial-therapy.network. And next week, we have an introductory group series, and we're offering one on Tuesday evening, one on Thursday at noon, and one on Saturday, the 2nd of May on noon. The Tuesday evening group is already filled, but I believe there are still spaces open on the Thursday noon on on the 30th next week, and on the Saturday. So if you want to head over to Financial Therapy Network as soon as we're finished, you can join us at one of those introductory sessions. Again, coming soon is the network listing, the affiliate program, and the ability to run your own online support groups. And that's what I have for all of you today. Dorlee, do we have any questions or responses to the Financial Therapy Network?
Yes. So in terms of the ratings, they were very favorable. They ranged between 4 and a 4.5. People were very interested. In terms of questions, they range from, is it only for women? Could it be also for men? So maybe I'll let you respond before I go on to the next question.
We are starting with support groups for women. Historically, research proves that an all-women's group will definitely provide a very different experience than a co-ed group. We hope, if we have the interest, to be able to have online support groups for men. I originally did some women's support groups about 5.5 years ago, and they were hugely successful, just really hugely successful. And that was really in this type of format, a webinar format. The platform we have now is as close as you could possibly get to actually doing an in-person support group. And I think it offers some additional benefits in that you can do it from the convenience of your own home or workplace, wherever you want to log in. It's a very reasonable cost. The cost is $40 a session. We will be offering the same session one night a week and on Saturday morning to try and give people options for attending. And during that experience also, it was clear that it was women who avail themselves, women who ask for help and want help and are comfortable with sharing. So that's how it came to be about women and exclusively for women. If you're a man and you're interested in support groups, please let us know. There's my email right up on the screen.
Okay, another question, you partially touched upon it, but I'll share it anyway because there was a second part. So one was the question about the fee, about how much does it cost? And then there was a question, well, you know, will there be some sort of sliding scale available? So I don't know if you want to mention when you sign up for a series, or that's going to follow at a later point.
The technology for us right now, unfortunately, is not available to be able to discount multiple sessions. And quite frankly, the cost of doing all of this is incredibly high. And we feel that $40 a session for all that is available through the experience is very reasonable. So unfortunately, we will not be able to do a sliding scale. We are only going to have 23 people at a session. I mean, there might be fewer, but we need 2 people, Dorlee and myself, running the groups and doing the technology. The technology requires an additional person. So it's a really amazing opportunity. And while we do so many things for free and love doing our free webinars and our ebooks and all the things we give away for free, this is something that's not available anywhere. And probably never will be because of all the work and expense involved. Anything else, Twilly?
Yes, one last question. How does this certification differ from other financial planning certificates such as the CFP?
This has nothing to do with financial planning. This is a psychosocial approach to money management. It's a behavioral approach. We're looking at the behavior. Each of our students goes through the process of improving his or her own financial future, and in that way becomes a healthier role model for his or her own clients. It's very interactive, very introspective. It's not telling you to do this or do that. It is a real workbook with lots of places for you to think about your own childhood, where you learn things about money, how well that serves you now, how you feel about investing. I mean, it covers all of the basics of money management. I mean, that's important, but more as important, if not more important, is your relationship with your money. It looks at your relationship with your money because that's what drives your behavior with your money. And so it is very, very different. And I started all of this 18 years ago, and no one was doing anything much around financial literacy, and financial wellness is really very new. But now many, many people are doing many, many things. But this is about much more than investing or, you know, there's a lot to know and to think about, but unless you feel good about yourself and more hopeful about your future and ready, you know, it's about creating sustainable long-term financial behavioral change. That's what it is. Anything else?
Okay, I have a few questions from one person here. What is the connection between the certification and the sessions? Are the sessions for the professionals gaining certification, or are those for the clients seeking assistance? And then, is there a renewal process for this certification?
Excellent questions. Somebody was really paying attention, and apparently I didn't do a good job of explaining it. So, the sessions are open to women who want to create financial wellness, who want a place to go to talk about money and to learn about money, but to also grow personally. I mean, women are comfortable sharing, and you're able to learn from other women, to hear what they're doing, how they're coping, what changes they're making, and that's they're very empowering. They're meant to be very empowering. And so it is a guided session. Every session there will be maybe a 10-minute slide educational component, but then there will be topics, and people will break into smaller groups, get to know each other better, and get to discuss a different topic than the main one. And then we will be asking questions, and everyone has the ability. Something I'd love for all of you to be able to do is to type in what you're thinking. So if we asked you in the group, you know, how do you feel about the Financial Therapy Network? We have the ability in that platform for everyone to type in their thoughts, their feelings, their attitudes, their answers. I mean, we can do so many amazing things with this group. There's just nothing like it out there. The certification, our goal is to bring the groups to as many people as possible, to change how people think and talk and interact with their money. You know, as I said, connect to their money and change their behavior. And we don't necessarily feel that that comes exclusively from reading instructions on how to do that, or even from an interactive workbook. We think it comes from a place where we can, you as a group member can ask questions, answer questions, make sure you're clear on what you can do, should do, want to do. But as we grow the groups and expand them, we are looking for other certified financial social workers to run more groups so that there are more available in different time slots. Dorlee and I, handle a lot of different projects, and we certainly can't be doing them every day of the week, in the morning, in the afternoon, etc. So that's why we're offering the discount if people want to take the certification, and the opportunity to have a year's free on the network listing. Did that answer all the questions, Dorlee?
We have two more.
Go ahead.
If you could please restate the end date of the discounted rate on the certification.
May 1st.
And how do you plan to, oh no, a few more came in here. How do you plan to, we'll have to put a stop because it's we're going to lose people here. How do you plan to evaluate the effects of the online support groups? I
don't have a research component to that right now. It's a great question, Dorlee. We didn't really think about that. I know one way that I would think to evaluate it is if people keep coming back because they're learning and growing and changing and feeling better and doing better.
We could also incorporate, sorry if I'm interjecting.
No, go ahead.
We could also plan to incorporate, just like we have for the certification,
right,
for financial social work, we have some questions that we kind of ask, when a person starts the process, kind of like where they're at, and then kind of measure where they're at after they've been part of the program for a certain length of time, and then kind of follow up with them after they have left the program, 6 months later, and see where they're at. And if we see that they are at a better place than where they were when they first started with us, then that would be proving the positive effect of the online support group. So that could be a way of showing a positive effect. So not just by people staying and coming back, but also showing some measurable.
Well, you and I had discussed that right from the beginning, but we both acknowledged the fact that people often aren't interested in completing that kind of information. It can be time-consuming and labor-intense. But it's a great question, and we're just excited. We've spent a very long time and a great deal of money to make this happen. And so bring on your questions. There's my email. You can ask them.
The person who asked so many questions now kind of misunderstood something, so it's good that he's verifying. He said, so then what I'm gathering then is that for now the certification is being primarily targeted for women?
No. The certification has always been gender non-specific. We have many men who have taken the certification. We've had the certification for well over a decade. If you work with clients either as a private practitioner or in an agency, those are the people who take the certification. Because last week I spoke in, where did I speak? In Mississippi, and it was these were actually at Jackson State University at the School of Social Work, and so they work with low wealth clients. Many of our graduates are private practitioners because there is nowhere really that you can attain a certification in financial social work that's going to help you help yourself and your clients to have a better financial future. So we have the helping fields are predominantly women. So I'm sure we have more women graduates than men, but we have many, many men graduates using this work. I'm
Okay,
glad you asked that.
now I'm getting some thank yous. And we need to wrap up because we're now 7 minutes after the time and people are leaving.
Well, thanks everybody. Thanks for sharing this. It was very meaningful and special to me. And if you need anything, you can call us or email. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of the day. Thanks, Dorlee.
Thank you.
Bye now.